Hello everybody. I'm in the process of updating my bathroom. Last weekend I painted all the walls, painted all the fixtures, had a couple shelves. These are actually wood in here. I actually painted them with some black paint. I did the same thing here. As you can see, the paper towel, or excuse me, toilet paper roll holder. And what I'm looking to do now is I'll be installing some flooring, some vinyl plank flooring. So our next step at this point is to remove our toilet, and from there, we got to empty the tank, empty the bowl with water, get the water out of there, and then we got to remove the bolts that hold the toilet in place. Both sides. The water's already shut off. Once I drain the tank, I'm going to take this hose off here, and then from there we'll measure out the floor, what best fits our needs to hit the pipe on the seam of the plank, so that way you're not cutting into a plank to go around a pipe. We got the floor measured out pretty good, and I think we'll be all set on that. I'm going to set you guys up right here so you can see me. I think that's a pretty good view there. Bring it up a little bit. There you go. And once we have the floor done, we got to change out the flange. I prefer the one with the wax ring with the flange on it. That way you're sure your toilet's not going to leak onto your floor. If it does leak by, it should go down into the pipe if it's installed correctly. But first, we will empty the tank. You can use a small cup or a sponge. I don't have a sponge, so I got to use a cup. Now, you could use a bigger cup, but in my tank I don't have room. But on the toilet bowl, I would use a bigger Dixie cup to empty that out. And basically, you got to empty that out because you're going to want to turn your toilet over, clean off the old wax from the wax ring. And for that, you just use a regular scraper just to scrape that off, take the excess off, and then remove the toilet and store the toilet. I'm going to put it in the shower here on an old rag, so that way you don't dirty up the bottom of your shower. So I'll start. It's going to be a long process, a little bit to just get that out. So basically, you're just trying to take out as much water as you can. That way, if you do put your toilet sideways, you don't end up out on your floor. Not that it's a big deal. I do have a linoleum floor currently on the floor that will stay. I will be going over that. But once you get down far enough, you can use a rag just to clean up the old water that you can't get with a cup. Just sponge it out. Most water out of the tank. Now I'll empty the bowl. And I did wash the toilet, so that way, you know, you are putting your hand in there. You can wear gloves if you want. But I did wash the toilet bowl and flushed it a few times to make sure that I had clean water in there. And there you go. And I got enough water out of there that I'm all set. Next step is removing that hose that goes behind the tank. You may want to rag on the floor. Let me put you down here that way you can see. There's a little bit of water in the tank, so you will get a little spill when you take this hose off, and you'll see that in a second. And there you go. You should be all set there. And then next step is to remove this cap that reveals your nut. If it wasn't tightened too much, you could usually take it off with your hand. If not, 1/2-inch wrench. And just loosen it up. And it should come right up. There we go. Take that off, take the white cover off. Do the same to the other side. As you can see, I've already taken the cover off. Just take the nut off, the cover. Now, all you got to do is pull up on the toilet. I'll get my scraper ready. I do have my rag. So all you got to do is rock it a little bit and pull your tank off, pull your toilet off. And you want to be able to lean it as far as you can. I'll put you in the corner. When you look at the ring there, you can see that the wax is still underneath the toilet. What you're seeing there, that's black, that's the flange. So we'll pull that out in a minute, but first we'll look to see. Yeah, and I can actually feel that your toilet has a ring around it that's ceramic or porcelain, the same thing as your toilet. Your wax ring fits inside there. So I'll need to lean this over. So I'll give myself as much room as possible. I can lift it up like this. And from there, you can see where the wax ring goes. For now, you just put it right there. I'll put that up with a rag. Really, I'm just trying to take off the excess. You're going to be putting another wax ring there. It's not important. There you go. And this is the flange. The wax ring goes around this little flange here. So I'll take the toilet now and I'll put it in the shower on a rag. And as you see, the toilet is removed. So the first step we got to do, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to paint the back of the toilet. This is a good idea every time you pull the back of the toilet if you haven't painted it in recent times. Like I just painted this last weekend. And I knew I was going to take off the toilet, so I waited till this weekend to paint the back. So I'm going to paint this up, clean up the floor, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm back, guys. I've painted the wall. I wanted to show you something that, you know, is sometimes overlooked. Now, this house was built in '84, and I bought it a couple years ago, but if you look at the flooring here, whoever installed this hadn't lifted up the flange or put the floor underneath the flange. If you're installing a floor, take the time to unscrew your flange from the floor, put your flooring underneath, if you have room. Of course, if you're going to put ceramic tile, I would suggest that you get this lifted, put a new steel flange, floor flange, so that way you can adjust for your height. The reason being is if you do get a leak, you know, you're actually going underneath the floor. I don't know if you can see that, but there's linoleum here. There's no linoleum inside the flange or underneath the flange. So very important to have your flooring installed underneath. Take the time to unscrew this, lift it up, and place your flooring underneath. And if you do have to have it adjusted, get a plumber to come in and adjust that if you're not knowledgeable in that aspect. Now I'm going to get ready to install the floor. One thing to look at is this pipe right here. I want this to land pretty much on a seam, right? So that way I don't have to cut around a pipe. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure off that wall there to where this would sit like this, flush. I'm going to even this out with the cut. That'll tell me how much I got to take off a full piece to start my strip against the wall. And then that'll pretty much be divided between the two walls. I did check to see how square the wall was. As far as this area here, and the walls are square, so I'm lucky. So I can do straight cuts and it'll be quick and fast. Tools you're gonna need for this. Basically, you know, straight edge, a pencil to mark your cuts. For your straight cuts, all you need is a utility knife, a couple scores, bend your cut, and they'll snap right off. For any cuts that are not straight, I use the vibratory tool with I try to use the metal blade on the vinyl. Leaves a nice smooth edge. But the other thing we got to do is we got to prep our door to be able to receive the vinyl underneath, or the vinyl planking. What I mean by that is I don't want to be cutting, let's see here, I don't want to be cutting around the door trim. I want the flooring to go underneath the door trim to meet the carpet over here. So to do that, take your flooring, turn it upside down, all I did there is move the lip to this side so I don't damage the lip. And with your vibratory tool, you know, all you do is make sure you're flush on underneath of your flooring. You cut this out, and then your floor should be able to slide right in and be all set. My floor here is going to be, the way it's going to come, it's going to be lengthwise this way, because this is the longest part of the room here. So that way when you do come in, the way it's going to look, your floor is going to go that way. And it's going to look, let me get the right angle here so you guys can see it. This will be elongated that way. And that's how I plan on. So where I left off, guys, was, you know, trimming the bottom of the door jamb. So that way when they do have a finished piece, you can see how nice and there's no crack there. It fits right in. And then you'll have your finished strip here. This will go in further because I'll cut this in and push this in so it goes inside the carpet there. And I've already marked out my board. Basically just a pencil mark. What I need as a, I'm going to place you guys here somehow here. As stated before, measuring the length of strip that I need to make sure that I line up to the middle of the pipe here, your water pipe for your toilet, and that measurement comes out to 6 1/4. That I'll leave a gap along the wall here. Usually you need a 1/4 inch gap from your wall surface. It's a very small room, so you have very small expansion. These are the strips that you normally use. You know, it has a 1/4 inch gap there if you were going to put that against the wall. And I don't need to put that much gap. I am going to put a gap, but not a 1/4 inch gap. So now I'm going to score my piece on my line. I'm going to try to bring you guys down here. You seem pretty high there. There. Put my line there. And we're going to score it on that line. And remember, you got your baseboards off, you're going to leave a gap. So you don't have to worry too much about how the edge is going to look. We'll get a nice cut in there. Again, this is vinyl plank. Just bend it and the cut. There she goes. There's padding on the back, just cut the padding off in the crease. This is your waste piece, this is your good piece. Cut edges that go against the wall. so. I'm going to square it off, make sure that it's square to this wall here. But first I got to measure out a piece to go to that corner there. And basically what I need there is the same width. And I need 6 inches. I'll get another piece. Need a 6-inch piece. Make a mark. Make a mark. Make a line. And do the same process where you're scoring what you need. I almost made a mess. I actually got to measure off the other end here. Score it. And then you got to put it the same width as this piece here, which is 6 1/4. 6 1/4. They do sell a vinyl plank cutter, which just looks like a big, really a big paper cutting. I don't know if you guys remember those in the old days. Make sure you're aligned. I get my mallet, my rubber mallet, and to put that in place. And just use the rubber mallet just to snap it. Now your next piece. Go like so. Thought I had room to play, but I don't. I'm going to do there. Look at my sides with rubber tear tool. Do that. Get the rest of the utility knife. So I'm going to move you a little closer. So I'm getting ready to cut around the toilet flange and the pipe. I already cut my length as far as what I need for my length. And basically what I'm going to measure now is from this plank to here, this plank to here, and then from here to here to get me where the flange will be on the surface. Then I'll measure again from here to the pipe, on this side of the pipe and to the other side of the pipe, and how deep I have to go. Draw that out on that piece, and then that'll give me what I need to do for the cutout. So, first measurement is 21 inches. Again, I want to go underneath the flange, so that puts me inside the steel ring collar, so that way the floor will be, the collar will be supported by the floor. So, 21 inches at 2.5 inches in, and 2.5. 21 inches. I can find my pencil. Inches, and then again to the center of the pipe, which is roughly 23.5. So 23.5. Put a mark there just for judgment. Measure off the finished end of the floor that's there now. And I gotta come in 4 inches from the finished end. So pretty much where my mark was for the center. Make a little mark there. And then to the back. So basically 27 7/8, excuse me, 26 1/8. Make a line there. And then basically what you want to do is make a circle right on the edge. I want to go to 22. On the back edge. $25 3/4. Measure off the pipe, water pipe. Water pipe's at 31 3/4. It's a 1 inch pipe, so, or 3/4 inch pipe, excuse me, 1/2 inch pipe. You just gotta leave 1/2 inch, but I'm gonna double check. cut that up. And as you can see, we're completely around the flange. Hold on 1 second. The floor's underneath the flange, around the pipe. Nice clean finish. Should have no issues with that at this point. I'm going to turn you around. And basically we're going to finish off the rest of this floor here. Move things around a little bit. You want to make sure you don't have any debris on the floor. I've cut the piece here, so I'm vacuuming that up. And I'm going to need more flooring, so I'll put you on pause for a minute. Measure out my next cut. And 3 3/4, excuse me, 35 3/4. That 5/7/8. See? I'm going to measure the width on that one. And I need 7.5. 7.5 full length. That's definitely a lot noisier than cutting it with a utility knife. But as you can see, you can do that as well. You can just clean up the edge here. You don't have to worry about what it looks like. Okay, I'm up to the point where you can put the toilet back. I put screws holding the flange on the floor, so that's not going to move. Getting the wax flange ready. Put that right there. And try to line the bolts so they line up. There we go. Squeeze down. Make sure it's straight. Now you want to tighten those bolts up, not too tight because you don't want to crack your toilet. You do want to compress the wax ring. So go back and forth on each side, try to even it out. And then put the right line. Right. Once you have that, you can turn your water on. Then you'll flush it a couple times to see if you have any leaks. And I don't see any leaks on the floor. I don't see any water in the floor. So it looks like we're good. I'll back you up here so you can see what it looks like. Basically, all done. Baseboards are up. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we can do more videos like this where you can help the new homeowner get some easy upgrades done. So in total, when you look at this room, you know, the paint, I had spray paint for the black, these shelves, maybe $100. I already had the paint for the wall, and I already had the flooring because I had done this type of flooring in another room. So, you know, leftover flooring and leftover paint. So $100, I was able to upgrade this room. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we can get you more videos out soon. Thank you.